Hi, it's Tom Nicoli from Master Visionary Hypnosis-Based Coaching. And today I'm going to share with you a way to help reduce those stress levels that cause emotional, mental, physical problems. Even the 6 leading causes of death are related to stress, which is labeled the silent killer. And I'm going to give you a personal story that goes along with my message today as to how to be able to avoid potential stress levels that are just wreaking havoc in life. You know, our limitations, our frustrations, our attitude, our mood, all of it affected by stress in a negative way. What it's all based on today is a single word: acceptance. Now, acceptance has 2 sides of a coin here. On one hand, people do not accept things rather than, or instead they complain or rationalize and justify why they're not accepting a situation. When once you accept a situation, then you can just move on. The other part is people are accepting things that they shouldn't be. And a quick example is I had a client and she said, you know, everything's fine and lovely on girls' night out, but then there's this one girl when she comes out with us. Oh my God, it's horrible. I said, then why is she part of your crew? Well, we all went to school together. We've known each other for so long. Not a good reason to accept someone. If they're causing issue and problems, you don't accept. Now, here's the personal story about acceptance. And I love phrases that are short, quick, to the point, and they're helpful. And the one I'm going to share with you, when you do accept something, is you can then say, so what? What now? Because it isn't so much of what's happened up until now. All that matters is what's happening now and from now on. Now, you've probably seen, if you've seen any of my videos or anything I've done online, and it's been many years, but in the last 11-ish years or so, January's coming up, so maybe almost 12 years now, I forget exactly, that there's only one eye that's really working here. Because the other one, well, I had an accident at home when I was living in New Hampshire. And as a musician also, I was going to record some tracks with someone. And I said, that's the one. And I turned quickly, holding a wine glass. And when I tripped and fell face first, it shattered. And I cut up my thumb. I got 6 stitches there. And I landed on it face first. There's a little scar right here. That was the edge of the stem that broke off the wine glass. And my face went down on it through this eye, not through the eye, but up through this area and centimeters from my brain. They were going to do a second operation, but they realized that it didn't affect my brain or have any potential damage or danger to it. So I only had the one operation. It was a long story. I mean, this is January in New Hampshire, winter, freezing cold. And I thought, we're just going to go to the medical center, get it stitched up, and come on back and record those tracks. Before I know it, I'm being wheeled outside into an ambulance to then be brought down to Boston to Mass Eye and Ear, because this was way worse than they could handle. MRI, tests, time goes by. I mean, we're into the early morning hours now. And finally, a doctor says to me, listen, I got to talk to you. We have to do surgery, but you're not going to see out of that eye. Now, right there, if you're not in the mode of acceptance in life, like whatever unfolds and comes is what unfolds and comes. And it's not what happens in life, it's how you deal with it, how you react to it. So I said, okay, I mean, what am I going to do? And he said, but listen, you can drive legally. Fantastic. He goes, and people even fly planes with one eye. And my response was, well, that's great. And the doctor asked me why. I said, because I can't fly one now. And he said, you know, I think you're going to be all right. So you see, other people would call me. I mean, I'm blessed to have a career that really took off in my life. And I had people calling from around the world. And At the time, I was divorced and my son was still living with me. And both of us have no idea how people found out even. We just don't even know how they found out. We weren't calling people or posting it online. There were people who were more distraught about it than I was. There were people in worse situations than me who were calling me with compassion and love and understanding. And I tried to tell everybody the best I could, look, I'm good. I'm fine. Now, we fast forward, and it was a challenging time, to say the least. It was pretty difficult in the adjustment, but I had a lot of experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I had so many people contacting me, and I found out that my work is still being followed and how effective it is. So that was keep doing what you're doing. I found out how much love there is, how much generosity. People were contributing to a fund so I could, keep my home and keep things going. Because if I can't show up, I can't do my work. And it went on and on and on. So I wrote a list of blessings and I put that out online. I had my son actually post it. And there was a video I did in the hospital, Johnny, with the big bunch of tape and metal patch over my eye when I just got home. And I thanked everybody. And at that time, I had just purchased the domain mastervisionary.com. And I said, with less sight, I'll have more vision. And that was my take on it. Now, I also used to every Sunday night go to a friend's house in the Boston area when I lived back there. And we used to have a blues jam. Well, when I walked in, and I grew up with street guys, I grew up triple decker, low income. These guys, they're not all compassionate and lovey-dovey. They're straight and harsh. So the guy who owned the house said, look, we got all the one-liners out of the way just so we could exhaust all the jokes. I said, you mean like I'll keep an eye out for you? And he turned around and he goes, how did we miss that one? So you see, I could have spiraled down this rabbit hole of misery and self-pity and all of this if I did not accept the situation that I was now in. So acceptance is something you want to welcome and embrace when something is what it is, and also stop accepting situations that are causing you negative reaction, stressful, anxious, over nervous system activity. Everything that creates issues in the body and your brain and your mind and your attitude and your feelings, everything you are gets affected negatively when stress is present. And it's not supposed to be constant. So that's self-inflicted because you're not willing to accept the situation. Whether it's you lost a job, you're not in a relationship anymore, you had some physical injury. No matter what it is, these are just the experiences along the way that we're having in this physical life. So please accept the things that you need to accept. And when you do, you can then maybe do what I do and just say, okay, that happened. So what? Like I already know what happened. I know everything that led up to it. So what? What now? What can I learn from it? How can I leverage it even? What can I take from it? Maybe you use that phrase, the silver lining behind a cloud. What is the silver lining? Where's the benefit rather than the tragedy or destruction or whatever word you want to apply? So that's today's message about helping you understand ways to manage these stress levels and to avoid being the one who's inflicting these stress levels onto yourself by simply taking a different approach with this one word, acceptance. Hey, go ahead and like and share and let people know what you're learning through the information I'm sharing if it helps you, because it may help someone else. Maybe somebody who's in a stressful situation who maybe needs a little bit of insight. And I'll be back again to share some more information that will help you out in techniques in order to live happier and healthier as the master visionary you were born to be.